When you're ready, I'll just Hi. So just close your eyes. We're just going to do a little bit of breathing and meditating. So find a comfortable position and find that meditation pose that you can just hold for a couple of minutes. And then just start to slow everything down. And as you inhale, imagine this ball of energy rising up your spine with the inhale, and then popping out the top of your head. And then just slowly exhale. And when you're ready to take another inhale, again, bring a little ball of energy to the base of your spine. And as you inhale slowly, in time with your breath, draw it up your spine. And then when you reach the top of the breath, pop that ball of energy out the top of your head. And just do that a couple more times. Imagining that you're drawing this ball of energy up, all the way up your spine, past every vertebrae, and out through the top of your head. And as this little ball of energy is travelling up the spine, up each vertebrae, imagine that it's healing and repairing your spine in any way that your spine needs repairing and healing as it travels up. And cleaning. Just dissolving any negative energy. And feel the crown of the head grow a little bit taller. The shoulders roll back and down. Be really present in your body. Feel your seat bones press against the floor. Feel where your arms are touching your knees. Be mindful of the temperature of the air on your skin. Is it chilly? Is it warm? And notice any other sounds in the room. Maybe there's a clock softly ticking somewhere. And now we're going to bring our hands to prayer and heart center. And then take them out to the side, shoulder height, palms facing down. But then we're going to very mindfully turn them up so the palms are facing up. And then take an inhale. Bring them all the way overhead. Bring the palms together again and reach up. And open the eyes gently. And then let your right hand float to the ground. Let your left hand come overhead. Reach it, draw the top arm back, look at the ceiling, reach it a little bit more. Take another inhale. Come up and exhale. Let your left hand come down and come over. Inhale, take it up. And exhale, coming down and over. One more time each side. Just really noticing the muscles in your body starting to move and release, reach up. And exhale, reach over. Take it up one more time here. This time reach up, and this time we're going to come forward and just release everything over the front. Let the head go, let the shoulders sway. Move yourself a little bit, that feels nice. I remember when I first started doing this many years ago, it was really painful under my ankles when I came forward like this. If that's the same for you, I invite you to have a blanket or anything like that handy to put under your ankles when you roll forward like this. And now walking back, lifting yourself upright, and just opening the chest to the ceiling, pulling the shoulder blades together with the shoulders back. And looking up. And then coming back to centre. And rolling over the knees and finding your neutral tabletop. Hands under shoulders, middle finger pointing forward. Take an inhale, lift the tailbone, and then curve the spine, let the belly release towards the ground, open the chest, and look up. And when you're ready to exhale, tuck the tailbone under, and let the spine curve the other way. Push the floor away, push the shoulders to the ceiling, and bring your gaze under your body to your navel. And then again, take an inhale, tilt the tailbone up, release the belly to the ground, open the chest, and look up. And exhale, take the tailbone under. Curve the spine towards the ceiling, push the floor away, look under the body towards the navel. And then come back to neutral. Push the right foot away, let the right leg lift up to hip height, and send the left arm away as well. And see if you can get one long line from fingertips to your heel. And then release it. Take the other side. Push the left foot away. Let that heel rise to hip height. Push the right hand away. And reach in both directions. Using your core to keep yourself stable here. Try to make yourself longer. And then release it. Take a little resetting breath. And then come back to the left foot. Push that away. Lift the heel to hip height. Release the arm forward. And this time we're going to open on a diagonal. So your right foot's going to come out to the right and your left arm's going to come out to the left. So you're a diagonal line from your left fingertips to your right foot. Still using the core to keep yourself stable. And feel this work in your core. And then bring it back in. And release. Another resetting breath, and then push the left foot away again. Lift to hip height, the right hand comes up. And again, open on the diagonal. So the right hand comes out to the right, the left leg out to the left. Like you're on a diagonal line. Holding that, try to keep yourself as still and stable as you can. And then bring it back in. And release it. Again, another recentering breath. Okay, just reminding everybody about child's pose. So bring the knees to the width of the mat. Touch your big toes together. Sink your hips onto your heels. Walk the hands forward and then bring the forehead to the mat. So this is your child's pose, your balasana. If at any point you just had enough, you need a little breather, come here. This is our resting pose, our restoring pose. One more breath here. Okay, let's come up. Hands plant to shoulder width apart. Tuck the toes under. Lift up into your downward facing dog. Walking the feet. Pressing one heel, then the other heel down. Tilting the tailbone up. Pushing the floor away. Find your still dog here, looking towards the knees or the feet, but just not looking up towards the hands as well. Getting it. Hold it here. And then bring the weight into your left foot and let your right leg lift up. Reach the right leg for the ceiling, or the right heel for the ceiling. And now I'm going to open the hip. So let that right leg just bend behind you. You're opening the hips like they're a book opening up. And then bring it back. Heel goes up to the ceiling. And then it's going to come right through, but don't land it just yet. Bring that knee under the body. And then sweep forward and touch the knee to the elbow. So the right knee to the right elbow. And then release it all the way back up. Back into three-legged dog. And this time, let that foot slowly release back to the mat. Bring the weight into your right foot. Let the left foot lift up into a three-legged dog. Again, push your weight. Try to touch the heel onto the ceiling. Lock the big stretch in the back of the standing leg. And then open the hips like they're a book and let the left foot dangle behind you. Trying to point that left knee up to the ceiling. And then bring it back. Close the hips again. Send the leg back up. And this time we're going to bend the knee underneath us. And again, bring it under, touch the left knee to the left elbow. And send it back. And just lower that foot. Let's take a 2-breath child's pose. So drop the knees to the width of the mat, tuck the toes, or untuck the toes, sorry, so that the toes are touching. Bring the forehead to the mat and take 2 deep breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Another breath, inhaling and exhaling. Okay, now we're going to come up. So plant the hands at shoulder width apart again. Fingers spread, middle finger pointing forward. Lift back up into your downward facing dog. We're going to take a slow walk to the top of the mat. One leg at a time, slowly walking up to leave the hands where they are. And exhale, releasing over your legs. Then hold your elbows and just hang here a moment. Try to get as much length into the spine as you can again, releasing the head, so no tension on the neck. Let the head go, not holding the head up. Then breathe again. Let the arms just hang, so release the elbows, let the arms just hang. They may touch the floor, they may not, doesn't matter. And now, rolling up the spine, using your core. So roll you up vertebrae by vertebrae. Oh, lovely. And then bring the shoulders back and shoulder roll. Take the arms overhead. Look towards your thumbs and just draw the thumbs slightly back with you. Back here. And then coming back up to center. Gazes forward. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a breath. Now let's take another inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, we're going to fold forward, but remember we're doing this from the hips. So soften the knees, bring the shoulders out of the ears, and as you come forward, you're hinging at the hips into your forward fold. Now long flat back. So come up halfway, press the hands to the shins, extend the back of the knees, but the knees aren't locked out. And then just have the gaze downwards so that you've got some length in the back of the neck as well. And see what's happened to your belly. If it's kind of loosened, just engage the core. And soften the knees again. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to the mat. Step the right foot back as far as you can get it into a long lunge. Come up onto your fingertips. Sink the hips. Push that back heel away. And then bring the hands back down and bring the weight into your left hand and open your right. It's the awkward way. It doesn't feel quite as natural as the other way. And then let that right hand come down. Now I'm going to take it the way it does feel a bit more natural. Open up and lift the left hand up. Into a twist. And then release that foot. Drop the right knee. Lift up into our low lunge here, our crescent lunge, sinking the hips, and then reaching up and a little bit backwards. And then release that forwards, come into our little hamstring stretch here, so that left toe will come towards you. And just a slight move, kind of lengthen the spine, and then come forward. And you only have to make a very small move and intensify the stretch in the back of the leg quite a lot. Breathe into it. And then release that. So bring the foot back to the mat, hands on either side of that left foot, lift the right knee and come into your plank. If you wish, you can lower the knees immediately. If you're feeling a bit strong today, you're up for the challenge, stay in your plank. Hold here for a breath. And now everybody, we're going to all lower our knees. Wrap the upper arms in, so that as you exhale and lower the chest and chin to the ground, your arms still inside of your body. And the chest lowers, and as it does, you're going to release the hips as well. Uncurl the feet and come into a little baby cobra. And now push back onto your knees, tuck the toes under, and using your core, lift yourself up into the downward facing dog again. We're going to step our right foot to the top of the mat. So look to where the foot's going, engage the core, roll forward, and step that foot to the top. And then let the left foot join it. Exhale into a forward fold. Again, try to find a length in the spine. And inhale all the way up in one movement back to standing. And a little back bend to finish. Hands to prayer and back to heart center. Take a breath here. And then come up again. Inhale, take it up. Little back bend. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Hands come to mat. Step the left foot back. Left foot back as far as it'll go. Come up onto the fingertips. And then bring the hands down. First off, we're going to open in the kind of awkward way. So it's the right hand that stays on the ground and the left arm that's going to lift up. And then release that arm back to the mat and swap sides. So the left hand is down, planted, and the right arm lifts up. And then release that right hand back down again. Okie dokie, let's just lower that back left knee, lift ourselves up into our lunge, sinking the hips. Take a little back here. And we'll find our hamstring stretch. So hands come behind that front foot and pushing back, lifting the right toes towards you. And again, see if there's any length to be found in the spine, and then a slight bend forward. Just see how much more stretch you can get into that hamstring. Inhale and exhale. And then release the foot back to the mat. You lift the left knee, hands on either side of the right foot, push back into your plank. Holding your plank here or releasing the knees as you wish. And wherever you are. Now this one I'm going to give you the option. You can either lower your knees and again lower the chest and chin like we did before. Or if you want a bit more of a challenge, you can come down halfway in your low plank. And then without bringing the thighs down, come into an up dog instead of a cobra. So up to you, either your cobra or your up dog, and now let's all go back to downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. And this time it's the left foot getting sent to the top of the mat. So step that foot forward, right foot follows. Exhale, forward fold, and inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Take a breath here. Inhale, take it all the way up and back, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, bring the hands to the shins, press them away. And exhale, forward fold. Hands come to the mat. Set the right leg back as far as it'll go. And then we're going to lift up into our high lunge. Holding ourselves here. Now we're going to straighten this front knee. So we're going to lift up and exhale back down into a lunge. Lift up on the inhale and exhale back into our lunge. One more time, inhale up And exhale back down. Bring the hands to the ground. And then we're just going to plant the back foot. So the whole of the sole of the back foot's on the ground now, and the foot's at about 45 degrees or 2 o'clock. And then lift up into a warrior one. Try to angle the chest towards the front and angle the hips towards the front. I'm facing the wrong way. Stay where you are. I'm just going to change sides. Okay, so warrior one. Now from here we're going to open up into warrior two. So this means just coming out front. Arms are at shoulder height. And then just gazing over the fingertips that are above your, should be your left knee, I think. Turn that palm, that front palm up, reach it forward, and then come back into our reverse warrior. Back hand is just on the leg or wrap behind the waist. Open the chest to the ceiling. So you're trying to angle the chest upwards. And then come back to warrior two. Let's sink the left elbow to the left knee and bring your arms, your right arm over. Side angle. And back to warrior two. Okay, we're going to straighten that front leg now. Hip the hip away. You might need to adjust the stance like I need to. Depends on where you are. And now, just one thing, we're going to come into our triangle, which looks a bit like this. But this knee has a tendency to lock out. Don't lock the knee out. Keep on micro bend the neck. And you can do that by lifting the kneecap by engaging these quad muscles. So reaching forward, palms front, and then windmill, triangle, trikonasana. Gaze is straight ahead, or to the ground, or up to the ceiling, whichever feels better. Ultimately, we want to look up to the ceiling. If that doesn't feel good on your neck, don't worry about it. Okay. Let's come out of that. Release the arms. Bring the feet forward. Pigeon toe the feet. So we're going to take a little forward fold here. Hands on the waist. And inhale, look up. And as you exhale, again, micro softness in the knees. Come all the way down. We're trying to fold ourselves in half here. Bring the hands to the ground and just see where you are. And you might want to take hold of your ankles and gently pull yourself through even more. Up to you. Or leave your hands on the ground. But again, just want you to feel into your bodies here. So feel where the tightness is and breathe into it. Pull back. If it's painful, release out of it. Don't go too far. And it's still pretty early, so we're going to have another go at this. So this is the first one. Just relax into it. Don't push too far just yet. Breathing deeply. And now walking the hands out, coming into a long flat back. Bringing your left hand under your face, putting that cup of water onto your sacrum. And then lifting the right arm up. Trying to keep the twist into the mid and upper spine and shoulders, so as not to spill that glass of water. And then bring that right hand back down. Plant it under your face. Reset your hips to square into the ground. And then release or reach the left hand up. And release it. Bring the heels in, so the toes and the knees are pointed out and lift up into your little goddess squat. And we're going to take 10 pulses here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we're going to take 10 pulses with the knees inwards and outwards, okay? So, it's more back, actually. It's more like you're pushing out back on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, release that. Come up to standing. And then just step back to the top of the mat. Hands to prayer. Inhale, take the arms up. And exhale, all the way down. Inhale into a halfway lift. Press the hands to the shins. Halfway. And then exhale, back into the forward fold. Hands to the mat. Step the left foot back as far as it'll go. And lift up into your high lunge. Hold the high lunge for a breath. And then inhale, release it up. And exhale. Inhale up. And exhale down. One more of these. Inhale up. And exhale. Bring the hands back to the mat. Round the back foot. So the foot's at 45 degrees again. Point it to 10 or 11 o'clock. And then lift up. Warrior one. And bring everything to the front again. And take a breath here. And then open into warrior two. So, warrior two. Just slight little tiny little alignment down to this front heel. If I drew a line, it would bisect my back foot. Be about the middle or somewhere between the middle and the heel of the spine. Sinking down here. I'm trying to get 90 degrees into this knee here. Doesn't have to be today, as long as there's some flexion. And we want the knee over the ankle, but not in front of the ankle. So not like this. Okay, anyway, here we go. Just looking over the hand that's above the bent knee. Turn that palm up, reach it forward, and then come back, and again into your reverse warrior. So opening the chest to the ceiling. And then back to warrior two. Hold your warrior two for a breath. And then drop the elbow to the knee, take it over. Lovely. And then back to warrior two. Now we've run a triangle again, so straighten that front leg to side. If you need to, shorten the stance a little bit. And then push the hip away, reach forward, palms front, and then window into your triangle, your trikonasana. Trying to not lock out that front knee. Very easy to do, I just did it myself then without thinking. Keep a micro softness in that front knee. And now, coming back up. Releasing the hands, feet come forward again. This is our second and final full forward fold with our wide legs. Hands to the waist. Inhale, look up. And exhale, come down with a flat back. So you're looking up. In fact, stop halfway, just check in. Lift the kneecaps, activate the quads. And then keep releasing yourself all the way down. Take hold of anything you want to take hold of, or just have the hands on the ground. And see you again, see where you are today. Feet are pigeon toes, the heels are a bit out and the toes are a little bit in. Bring the weight a little bit more forward into the front of the feet. Just breathe here for a couple of moments. And then release it. Hands under your face again. Bring the heels in. Toe walk them in a little bit deeper. And then sit down into your malasana, your yogi squat. Okay, lovely. And so we're just going to hold this a moment. Using the elbows to push the knees away. And still try to find a length in the spine. Okay. And now we're just going to, actually no, we're going to stand up. We just want a little balance before we come up. We come down to the floor. So just lift yourself back up for a moment. Bring the feet together. Now, see about lifting the left knee or the back of the right knee, try and move. Right knee up into your, towards the armpit really. And then give that right ankle a little bit of a. Now, if this is really troublesome, you can find a wall, rest one hand against the wall and just bring the other up. Okay. Or the back of the chair or something like that, that's right. Okay, so releasing, this is your right knee that you're holding, you're going to release the left hand and just gently pull it out to the side. And bring it back in. And release it down. Now take the other side. So again, if you need to bounce on a wall or a chair, find that wall or chair and bring your left knee up and then give your left ankle a bit of a rotation. And then if it's the left knee you've got, release the right hand, unless you're holding onto a wall or something, and then pull that out to the side. Hold it there, and then just bring it back in, and slowly releasing it back down to the ground. So we're going to come to seated via a little, what I call the zombie lower. We've got another name, but I don't know. Lifting up onto your tiptoes, arms outstretched, engage the core, and then bend the knees. And just, slowly lower yourself down. When you get to about halfway, just pause for a moment, and then see if you can lift up the heels even higher onto your tiptoes. And then keep releasing all the way down. And then just wind yourself into a seated position. Bring the soles of the feet together. Lift up in the spine. Pressing the knees towards the floor. So this is an active pressing of the knees towards the ground. And now just soften that so they're not pressing the knees. Bring the left foot out to the side, or extend the left leg. And then with your left hand inside that left calf, take your right arm up behind you and then reach over towards the general direction of that foot, but don't be too obsessed with trying to grab the foot or anything. It's not the main object. So open the side body, feel that stretch. Reach the fingers, but not, we don't get the fingers close to the foot by reaching forward. We keep the chest and the body open. Okay, let's take an inhale and come up. And now we're just going to move, just angle the body towards that extended left leg and reach over it. So bend forward over it. And then walk the hands back, come up. Bring that left foot in, extend the right leg out. Right hand inside right calf, left arm comes up and behind, and then over. And again, keep the chest open. Reaching in the general direction of your right foot. Take an inhale, come back up. And then angle yourself towards that leg and just come down straight over it. You probably notice that you've got more range on one side than the other. Normal. And come back up. All right. Get extending both legs out now. Knees and toes pointed to the ceiling. And I like to also just lift up onto my knuckles for a moment, tip the tailbone back, and then sit back down. So I've got my seat bones right underneath. And then keep the knees and toes pointed straight up. Just take a little walk forward. Doesn't have to be very far. Well, you won't be very far this time in the morning. If you try this again tonight, say 8 o'clock tonight, you'll have much more range the day. And you don't need to be static, so if it feels good to just kind of move a little bit, feel free to do that. And breathe. Remember to breathe into your tightness, breathe into any areas where you feel that stretch really quite intensely. And let your body just take any really deep breaths it wants to take as you start to release a little bit more. This is one of those ones where you just have to give it time. Can't be in a hurry when it comes to flexibility. The body doesn't respond to hurry. You have to be patient and let it open and release at its own pace. You use the breath to encourage it and to reassure it that it's safe to do that. Long, deep breaths. As soon as we start short, shallow breaths, the body contracts. It gets the message we're not safe. Okay, so walking the hands back, bringing the legs together. We're just going to close the hips a little bit here. I'm going to turn side on so you can see better. So bring the right knee into the chest and then plant that right foot on the other, plant the right foot on the other side of the left knee. Find that and just pull on that right knee to get yourself a little bit more length. And then with your left arm, hug that right knee in. And your right arm comes behind you into a little twist. Your left foot is flexed. Twist is right in the middle of the spine and up into the shoulders. And try to get your shoulders in line with your extended leg, if that makes sense. Doesn't have to be today, but that's to guide. And then release that. Come back to centre, but come all the way around to the other side for a moment and have a little release of the lower spine and then come back. Just turn it again. And so this time it's going to be the left leg that comes in, plants outside the right knee, lift up, hug that left knee in, bring the left hand around you, behind you to support the lower spine. And again, pause, with every inhale, you're lifting up. And exhale, just see if you've got a little bit more twist. One more breath here. And then releasing that back to centre. But again, don't stop at centre, just keep going all the way around to the other side. Maybe just push that left knee away with the left elbow. Just release the lower back. And then come back to centre. Undo the feet. We'll just take one little forward fold here. So his knees are soft. They can be really bent. Take the arms up. Reach up, and then as you exhale, so you can plant the stomach onto the thighs. Take hold of the feet, pull the little toes towards you, and then just release the head into that space just below the knees. And again, breathe deeply. See if there's any extension of the legs to be had here without losing the contact between the chest and the thighs. One more breath here. Okay, just lifting the head initially, reaching the arms forward, and then coming up back to seated. Bring the hands behind you, fingers pointed towards the bottom, bend your knees, and lift up into your reverse tabletop. Keeping the head up, lifting the hips, pushing the floor away, and then releasing. Bringing the knees in, hugging yourself here. And then letting it all go and lying on the ground. We're going to take a little bridge pose here. So bring the knees up, pointing to the ceiling. Fingers can probably touch the back of the heads. Take an inhale and lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Like there's a little a string or a rope on your navel and it's been lifted up by someone floating in the air above us. So pressing the heels into the ground, clenching the buttocks, lifting the hips. And then coming up onto the tiptoes and rolling the spine down. And bringing the knees into the chest and rocking from side to side. And then planting the feet one more time. All right, so either you can do that one more time, the same thing we just did, do it again. If you'd like to try your wheel pose, bring your hands by your ears, fingers pointed towards your feet. And then either, if you've got full wheel, go to full wheel, or just see if you can lift up and put the top of the head on the ground. You don't have to go all the way up. See how that feels. Even if it's just for a second or two. And if you do have full wheel, you can lift all the way up. And then releasing. Coming down wherever you are, bringing the knees back onto the chest and rocking from side to side. Okay, final pose before our Shavasana. Options include, so we're going to do our shoulder stand or our waterfall. So if you're in waterfall, you just bring the hands or a cushion or something lovely under your hips and lifting your legs to 90 degrees and just holding it here. Just leaving it here. If you wanted to take your shoulder stand, no problem, half shoulder stand. Just holding onto the hips with the heels of your hands, legs are in a diagonal. Or full shoulder stand, walking the hands up the back towards the head. Trying to get more of a straight line with the body. So wherever you are, hold your version. Again, this is one you have to just give it the time. No hurry. This is the Queen of Asana. Shoulder stand. It's the second most beneficial pose in yoga after headstand, so they say. Many benefits to be had inverting your body. The gravity impacts your body in a completely opposite way to how it normally does. Okay, let's start to come over that now. If you're in shoulder stand, bring the legs parallel to the floor, so you're staring at your knees. Arms out behind you, acting as your brakes. And then slowly roll down the spine and bring the legs back to the ground. Just take a little counter pose here. So bending the knees, so you can bring the hands just under the buttocks and then extending the legs again. Lifting up onto your elbows, bring the elbows under the body, looking to the toes. And then arching the back so the crown of the head lightly touches down. But the weight stays in the elbows. So one more breath here. And then lifting up the head again, weight is still in the elbows, take another look at the toes, and then release yourself back down. Take the arms out from underneath you, bring them to the side of the body. And bring the feet to the width of the mat or even a bit wider than the mat. Close the eyes and relax. Oh, if there's any tightness, I should have said this before, don't Shavasana. If there's any tightness in the lower back or it feels uncomfortable to be lying down, just bring the knees into the chest for a moment and roll from side to side. Just release the tension of the lower back. If you're feeling okay though, you can go straight to Shavasana. And now I just want you to relax here. Give yourself 2 minutes of complete stillness, complete relaxation. Wiggle any tension out. It might be in the shoulders or the upper back, in the neck. And then let yourself sink into your Shavasana. Palms are facing up, fingers are gently curling in. Feet are pulling out to the sides. And just let yourself release for a moment. So there, I'm going to get my swimming ball. With every exhale, just imagine that you are releasing a little bit more. You're willing to let go of any negative energy that you've been holding on to, toxic energy that you've been holding on to. Just could be emotions like fear, anger, bitterness, rejection. Release now. And allow peace to wash through you and fill that space with those old emotions. When you start moving again, stay in your relaxed state for 3 more minutes. I invite you to say silently in your head, I am safe, love. Light and peace. And maybe play with the idea that there's nothing about yourself that needs to change. There's nothing you have to prove. You are a divine being of light. You're starting to bring your awareness back to your body. And taking some deep inhales in your last inhale. And bringing some movements into your fingers and toes. And then bring the feet together, bring the arms overhead, give yourself a long stretch. And then pull your knees into your chest and roll over onto the right hand side of your body. And then in your own time, find your way back to seated. Just maintain your eyes closed for one more moment. And let's close our practice. Bring our palms together, rubbing the palms, cupping the palms over the eyes, opening the eyes under the palms and blinking, and then bringing your hands to heart center. Place them at your heart space. And there's our start. So namaste everyone. Thank you very much for joining me today.